Hello children, I welcome you all to our online class. Today, this class is for our 10th class students and the subject is Social Studies. At the outset, the Social Studies curriculum for 10th class students is an integrated curriculum. The four aspects of social studies, that is geography, history, economics and civics. These four aspects of social studies are emphasizing our country. For instance, when we look at the geography, entire geography of our country is taught. And then when it comes to history, a little world wars and how the world existed, what were the developments that happened, what were the social changes that happened in the world is mentioned. Along with that, Indian freedom struggle, post-independence and pre-independence, both the aspects are also covered in history. Then when it comes to civics, our constitution and how our constitution was framed and how many articles are there and what are the organs of the administrative system of our country are totally described in civics. And the economical conditions of our country, how our development is happening, how our GDP is sustaining, how globalization has happened and has influenced our country and the world is clearly mentioned in 10th class curriculum. This is how it is an integration of the world and our country alike. So first, let us start with the geography. In geography, we are learning India and its relief features. First, let us try to understand what does the word relief stand for. The word relief has 3 to 4 meanings in dictionary. But if you take the word relief in the context of geography, the word relief stands for differences. The land is not alike everywhere. It differs from place to place. How the land varies at different places in our country is discussed in this chapter. First, let us all try to understand that India is called a subcontinent. Why is India called a subcontinent? It is because our country has the entire features that a continent possesses. For instance, what all the different relief features that can be observed in the world can be found in our country. We have snow-capped mountains, we have vast plains, and then we have islands, we have deserts, we have plateaus, what not. All the different relief features of the world can be found in one country, and that's India. That's the reason why India is called a subcontinent. Of course, to that matter, I even consider India as a miniature of world. Because what are the different climatic conditions that can be found in the world can be found in our country in different places. So, let us try to know how our Indian subcontinent has come into existence. We need to get back into a little history. When the entire planet Earth had 2 pieces of land, we had Angara land and we had Gondwana. You know, there is an imaginary line that divides the world into 2 halves, that is called equator. We call that imaginary line as equator. Equator is also called as 0 degrees latitude. Now, we have many other latitudes passing in the northern hemisphere and many other latitudes in the southern hemisphere. The upper part of the earth is called northern hemisphere and the southern part is called as southern hemisphere. Now, these imaginary lines that are drawn horizontally are called latitudes. Now, let's get back. In the millions of years ago, the land was divided into two pieces. One is Angara and the other one was called as Gondwana. Now, these two pieces of land were continuously in motion. So, a small piece of land from Gondwana traveled in the northern direction. It has slowly traveled in the northern direction and it has collided. It has collided with the European continent and Asian continent, and then this is how the Gondwana part of land has turned into a peninsula. What did India become? A peninsula. Please, let me tell you once again, there were two pieces of land 200 million years ago. The mass of land in northern hemisphere is called Angara and the mass of land in southern hemisphere is called Gondwana. A small piece of land from Gondwana kept on moving in the northern direction. It collided with the Angara lands and formed into a peninsula. This peninsula is called Indian Peninsula. Now, first, let us try to know what is a peninsula. What is a peninsula? A piece of land that is covered, a piece of land that is covered with water. That's covered with water on three sides. And land on the other side. A piece of land that is covered with water on three sides is called peninsula. Now, if we take the geographical setting of our country, for example, if we look at this, what do we see? We see Bay of Bengal in the east, Arabian Sea on the west and Indian Ocean in the south. This is how India is called a peninsula. Why is India called a peninsula? It is because it is covered with water on three sides. On the east we have Bay of Bengal, on the west we have Arabian Sea and in the south we have Indian Ocean. So, here it is clearly evident that India is found in the northern hemisphere of the world. Where is India located? India is located in the northern hemisphere of the world. Now, let us look at the location of India on the world map. India is located from 68.7 degrees eastern longitude to India has 30 longitudes passing from it. So, 68.7 eastern longitude to 97 degrees 25 minutes eastern longitude. This is how our India is located. India is located from 68.7 degrees eastern longitude, that is the tip of the Gujarat, to 97.25 degrees eastern longitude, that is the tip of Arunachal Pradesh. We can see that India is located in a range of 30 longitudes. That is the reason why you can find a time difference of 2 hours from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. Each longitude, everyone is clearly aware of the fact that each longitude represents 4 minutes. As India is located in between these 30 longitudes, we have 120 minutes of time difference between Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh. Now, these are the locations. Now, we also have Indian Standard Time. Which longitude is called as the Indian Standard Time longitude? The answer is 82 degrees 30 minutes eastern longitude is considered as the meridian of India. We call it as the meridian of India. Why? It is because we take this longitude as the standard time of our country. This longitude passes from Mirzapur, which is close to Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. This is considered as the Indian Standard Meridian or Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time is 5.5 hours ahead. 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. This is World Standard Time, Greenwich Mean Time. So, Indian time is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. One more important thing, 23.5 degrees northern latitude. 23.5 degrees. 23.5 degrees northern latitude passes from India. Now you might be a little confused when I say 23.5 degrees northern latitude. There is another familiar name that we know. What is that? We call that as Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer passes through India. So this is the geographical location of our country. Let's have a quick recap. In the historical background, there were two pieces of land, Angara and Gondwana. A small piece of land from Gondwana started moving in the northern direction. It collided with the Asian continent and formed a peninsula. That peninsula is called India. So, peninsula is a piece of land that is surrounded by water on three sides. For India, we have Bay of Bengal in the east, Arabian Sea on the west and Indian Ocean in the south. That is what makes India a country with such a vast coastal line. India has a very large coastal line. Not only that, India also happens to be the 7th largest country in the world in terms of geographical area. 7th largest country, right? So, India has large coastal line. India is a peninsula. India is located between 68 degrees 7 minutes eastern longitude to 97 degrees 25 minutes eastern longitude. That is, the western tip of India is Gujarat and the easternmost tip of India is Arunachal Pradesh, and the distance between Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat is 30 longitudes. Each longitude represents 4 minutes. As there are 30 longitudes in our country, there is a time difference of 2 hours in Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh. Then the Indian Standard Meridian, 82 degrees 30 minutes eastern longitude, passes from Mirzapur, which is close to Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. That longitude is called as or considered as the Indian Standard Time. Our Indian Standard Time is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. Now, after knowing the geographical location, now let us move on to the relief features. Indian relief features. India has a variety of relief features. First, on the northernmost tip of India is covered with mountain ranges, and that mountain ranges we call as Himalayas. Himalayas is a Sanskrit word. The word Him means ice and Alaya stands for temple. So this Himalayas is the northernmost tip of India. We shall learn about it in detail. After Himalayas, the second important relief feature is northern plains. These northern plains are also called as Indo-Gangetic plains. Northern plains or Indo-Gangetic plains. Then the third one is plateaus. In India, the southern part of India, we find a lot of plateaus. Deccan Plateau, Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats, right. So about each of these relief we shall learn in detail. For now, let us only name them. The relief features that we see in India are Himalayas, northern plains or Indo-Gangetic plains, plateaus. After plateau, we have Thar desert. So India has a variety of relief features. We have snow-capped mountains, we have rich fertile plains, we have rugged mountain ranges, rugged hills, we call that as plateaus, and then we have desert. After desert, we have islands, coastal plains. So, let us discuss all these relief features in detail one after the other. First, what are the relief features that we find in India? Himalayas, the northern plains, plateaus, Thar desert, islands and coastal plains. Now, when we talk about Himalayas, Himalayas are formed in a crescent shape. You can find Himalayas in the northernmost tip of India in a crescent shape. So there are three different types of mountain ranges. The mountain ranges that are more than 6,100 meters above the mean sea level are called Himadri or Greater Himalayas. The mountain ranges that are located at a height of 6,100 meters and above the sea level are called Himadri. The greatest mountain peaks like the Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, K2, these are all located in Himadri. After Himadri, the next level of Himalayas, these are somewhere around 2,100 meters and above are called Himachal. These Himachal mountain ranges are very popular for the hill stations that are located. Darjeeling, Kulu, Kashmir Valley, all these things are located in Himachal. Himadri, Himachal, and the third range of Himalayan mountains is called Shivaliks. Right? So, what kind of vegetation is grown in Himalayas? What kind of animals, the flora and the fauna of Himalayas and the vegetation in Himalayas, the lifestyle of Himalayas and the rivers that are born in Himalayas, how those Himalayas are responsible for the formation of northern plains. All these things we shall discuss in our next class, right? Thank you.